What's good? It's your boy TJ Goodfella back with the Boston Clinic and more. Speaking on some NBA real quick. Isaiah Thomas is set to return within the next few days at the soonest. And, what can you expect from him coming back working with LeBron? Now, one thing is LeBron is the most ball-dominant player I've ever seen in my life. He has no versatility to work without the ball. He don't have no post-up game where you can throw it to him. Let him work out and he can make the passes from the post. He needs the ball to dictate everything. And I see a potential problem with him and Isaiah Thomas if Isaiah Thomas doesn't adjust his game. Now, Kyrie had to adjust his game, but it never looked fluid. And it never does look fluid with LeBron and other stars. Him and D-Wade, even in Miami, never worked. The current with them never really meshed. They got to the point where, all right, it's your turn to do your thing, my turn to do your thing. And then bosh, you on the third wheel or whatever. But it never really flowed like Golden State flows. Because Golden State, none of those guys have to be ball dominant. They all can play without the ball. They all get a ball up. And it just works, It's one of those rarities that just work. Even with the Oklahoma City Thunder when they had Westbrook, Harden, Kevin Durant, Ibaka. It never worked how Golden State's 4 stars is working. That's a credit to their coach, and it's a credit to all 4 of them being unselfish and having versatility. And Isaiah Thomas, one thing I do say that he may be better than Kyrie at is spot-up shooting, more consistent spot-up shooter. Kyrie jump shot is good, but, I just think Isaiah Thomas just might be a better spot-up shooter. Off the dribble, it's pick 'em, But when you're talking about, spot-up shooter, I think Isaiah Thomas might be a little bit better and more consistent sharpshooter than Kyrie Irving was. Defensively, he was the worst defensive player, not because of effort, because obviously his size. So, you can't get no worse than Jose Calderon, you know what I'm saying? So, J.R. Smith is a willing defender. I'm not saying the best, and Miles Shepard is an okay defender. But it will be some defensive liabilities with him being out there as well. And that could be an issue, in my opinion. But the Cavs are already 28th in pick and roll defense, and that could be another big issue with bigger guards posting them up, depending on who they play. It's one of the reasons Boston, got rid of him. Another bright side to Isaiah Thomas coming is the fact that, he can play without the ball. He's more effective without the ball than Kyrie Irving was. He can come off screens and spot up and shoot, like I mentioned before. He can facilitate some as well. He can get the ball out of his hand, get to the rim, facilitate and do some things, with and without the ball. So it is some positives, and there are always going to be some positive and negatives with inserting him in the lineup. It's just going to see, how he plays off LeBron, how Ty Lue coaches it up, how LeBron implements him. Will he stagger their minutes? Well, Isaiah buy LeBron some time. He'd be able to, run the offense by himself with LeBron on the bench and do his thing. But they going to have to be a duo together. They're going to be a threat together. And at the end of the day, will Kevin Love, suffer? Because he's been at a group. He had a great year this year without a third wheel for real. And with Isaiah Thomas coming, I know they know each other for a long time. I think it's very important for Ty Lue to get Isaiah Thomas and Kevin Love on the floor without LeBron, especially to saying LeBron's legs to be fresher. But ultimately, I don't know, unless some superhuman stuff happens with Isaiah Thomas. I still don't see them beating, Golden State. I still don't see them being better than Houston with Chris Paul. The Spurs, yeah, maybe. The Spurs is tricky, not get off the topic for a minute for the simple fact that, I don't know how Kawhi Leonard going to work back in. I think he might be potential trade bait. Because LaMarcus Aldridge is looking like the man. Paul Gasol is looking good. The young guy Murray. They might have to move Kawhi Leonard for a couple pieces. I know it sounds stupid, but LaMarcus Aldridge is looking so good, and the Spurs look so good without him. Potential, Kawhi Leonard and Paul Gasol, trade. I don't know, for a couple little stars. That could be in the works. I've been hearing some things, not saying that's the right thing to do. But, the Cavs are still head and shoulders above the rest. The best team in the East, the best team record-wise, I think, is Boston Celtics. And they don't even have their second best player. Gordon Hayward. The Raptors, nobody trusts the Raptors, to be honest. I mean, Valanciunas is, if he doesn't step up, they have no chance of beating anybody between, in the top 3 or 4, to make it to the conference finals. But if Valanciunas can play up to his potential, he'll be a problem. But I still see, Cavs making it to the finals. I don't see the results being any different this year unless Golden State suffers an injury or it's an upset in the West. I still see Golden State smashing them into the ground. I think they take a step back with Isaiah Thomas to come to the conclusion, just because I don't think he's a better person than Kyrie Irving, a better player than Kyrie Irving, excuse me. But I think he might work better with LeBron than Kyrie. I will go on a limb and say that he might work better with Kyrie than LeBron, but defensively, he's just too much of a liability. We gone.